What up, y'all? I'm Vegas, and this is One2Flow On. Topic today: All Eyes on Me, the movie. I usually don't do video reviews of music or documentaries like this, but it's early morning, as you can tell by my roughness, coffee, you know, my house, camera angle, everything. I was having real trouble trying to figure out how I wanted to approach this review. So I just said, you know what, I'm not even really going to do a review. I'm just going to talk about it real quick. So I had the opportunity to check out All Eyes on Me, the Tupac biopic. I just got to say, man, it was whack. And it's whack from the standpoint of it's not really a film where a person who knows Tupac gets to know them on a deeper level. What's there is kind of what everyone knows. It's just common knowledge. For some it may not be, but it literally is a Wikipedia page for Tupac. It's all the moments you know that happened in Tupac's life, whether it be controversial or what. All the details you know about Tupac's life are in there, and it's literally like they go from moment to moment saying, this made Tupac, this made Tupac, this made Tupac. That's not how you make a movie, man. That's not. Like, you know what I'm saying? There has to be some form of character development. Now, I felt like in the very beginning, everything was running real fast, and you know what I'm saying? They were just making a point to say, yo, this is his mom. She was pregnant with him in jail. They're Black Panthers. She was teaching him from an early age, and then you cut to him being a teenager. Yo, he had to live in Baltimore, and then he had to go to LA. Oh, but he not gonna take no stuff. It was like they would introduce, like early on, this ain't no real spoiler, they introduced them to this drug dealer who apparently is helping to support the family, you know, Tupac, because his mom's is, you know, going through hard times. I believe she was strung out at the time also on crack. At least it appeared that way. So he come by, he bring the groceries and all of that. And you feeling like, okay, we're going to get to know this guy. Maybe we get to see him more often. Man, him and Tupac go outside, they start talking. You watch the dude beat somebody up, and that's kind of the end of that character. They did that a lot. And throughout the whole story, every moment had characters who would just pop the fuck in. Like, no rhyme or reason. We know why they were there. We know there was a moment where they got up with Tupac, but it seemed unrealistic. Like, for example, Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G. to some of you. The intro to Biggie felt, okay, you know, they bringing Big into the fold, so yeah, it's Big, and they supposed to be at the tunnel, I guess. So it was cool. But then after that, Big would just be rolling up by himself in every moment. They're on Above the Rim soundtrack. Above the Rim movie set. Big comes up for Dole out of nowhere. Like, yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? The hospital, Big, the only one going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? When Tupac got shot. It was just real awkward. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing with Jada Pinkett. First, it was like, okay, you know, they were friends in high school, you know, and then it turned into, oh, wow, you know, maybe they have a deeper relationship. It felt like they were trying to build something with their relationship, but then she became a pop-in. Every 5 minutes, I would forget who she was. I would just see Tupac talking to somebody. It was almost as if he didn't use her name every time he spoke to her, and I would be like, oh, that's Jada Pinkett. You know what I'm saying? I would just forget, because the movie was moving at such a fast pace and was trying to make sure it fit all these elements in. It kind of became really whack. If I had to say, you know, how good it is or where does it rank, how does it compare to, let's say, how does it compare to Notorious? Yeah, I think it's the same thing as Notorious, to be honest. Both movies seem to focus on like Tupac and Biggie, of course, but they also seem to focus on their mothers, which isn't the worst thing. But again, this is a Tupac movie, and we understand what role his mother played in his life, which is huge, and their relationship. but it felt like they were partly telling her story also, with how they would kind of go through the timeline with her, which is cool. It's whatever, man, if that's what it was. But then in the same way as Notorious, it felt like we just need to see these moments that happen, these moments that we all know they have to happen. And it's not just about when they got shot, it's about like everything, every little moment you heard of just had to happen. And it's not the worst in the world, it's just not Straight Outta Compton. And what's the difference between Straight Outta Compton and a movie like All Eyez on Me is the fact that, for one, way better director, more seasoned director, more people with successful, let me say big budget, successful pedigree behind him. Because I mean, with Straight Outta Compton, you also have Ice Cube. Ice Cube knows what he's doing with movies as well. That's why he went and got F. Gary Gray, who, if you didn't know, did the last Fast and Furious, along with other things that you know him for. So that's why Straight Outta Compton felt such like a dope movie, because yeah, they had to hit a couple of points, but they added some character development to probably every character, maybe except for MC Ren. He was the only one that really didn't get any character development. But by the time the things that you knew were supposed to happen, like Eazy-E's death, it made sense. You had an emotional attachment. With this Tupac movie, the best part of this movie to me is, I think his name is Demetrius Shipp Jr. He's the dude who plays Tupac. I think he did an excellent job. He reminds you a lot of Tupac, even though you can tell he's not really Tupac because he kind of has a chubbier face. But he reminds you a lot of him, and that had me, I felt like I was looking at Tupac. The problem is everything around it was like watching one of them Lifetime or BT joints with a lower budget that's just speeding through events that you know, so that it could feel like this is the movie about them. But and let me just say this as a disclaimer for those who don't know, this movie was rushed because there was a battle over the rights of who can make it and who couldn't, and blah blah blah. And the movie wound up coming out of the hands of the estate of Afeni Shakur, as well as John Singleton leaving, a person who had a close relationship with Tupac, and got in the hands of Benny Boom, who had never done a feature film, at least not on this scale, as far as I know. And it was rushed. So it looked like it was rushed. I'll say this, towards the end, it felt like they slowed down a little bit, but I guess they slowed down a little bit because of his death. So they wanted to build there. That's where they felt like it was building. But then there was a lot of cheesy parts, man. There was parts in there, like when Tupac is getting ready, you know, like he already had to fight in Vegas, so he's going to change his clothes and put his chain in, and his girl's there, and she's like, you know, stay here, and we all know she's trying to say stay. We know Tupac gonna die when he leaves, and he's like, all right, when I come back, blah blah blah, I'm gonna go to the club a little bit and do this, come back. That's fine, you know, if that's really how that went down. But then where it really got cheesy was her standing at the closed door, wanting to open it just to say one more thing, and him standing at the closed door, wanting to go back in to say one more thing or stay. I mean, that just seemed a little bit dramatic to me, because no one can confirm that Tupac did that. And I don't know who, maybe a bodyguard said that did happen for a check. I don't know. The thing is all in all, there was a lot of cheesy moments. There was a lot of rushing. There was a lot of things that just felt low budget. I'll just say this, you know, do I recommend you see it? I recommend that you either see it the way I saw it, or, you know, you wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or something, red box it, rent it, check it out. I mean, I think it's worth watching. Like Notorious, but just like Notorious, I only watched Notorious one time, and I never watched it again. And it's the same thing with All Eyez on Me. Straight Outta Compton, I bought that joint because it was that damn good. So I don't know, what do you think? What did you think about the All Eyez on Me movie? Sometimes we need to take time away, you know, Jay-Z album out, all this other stuff going on, to really sit with it. So it took me a while to pump this out. I'm gonna continue my morning outside drink. It's coffee, don't worry. Until next time, y'all. I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.